Sorry about that, y'all. Storm Chaser, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. This light's just a little too bright today. Try to turn it down just a little bit. There we go. Give a little bit for everyone to kind of come on in. And yes, we have a waterfall in the background. The fish tank's in the background. There's nothing I can really do about it, unfortunately. How does it sound, babe? Sound good or not good or? Minus the waterfall. Okay. Ooh. I apologize, you guys. I'm really exhausted today. Did not get no sleep last night. Boys kept me up, but I'm still gonna do my best on here. Let's see. I'm just gonna give it a little bit longer. But yeah, you guys, the creek bite's getting really good. Storm Chaser, how are you? Them dogs have been catching them on brush piles for some reason. I think it could be the temps. Yeah, it could be. I think we're getting ready to really have these fish move. They've already been moving pretty good, but they're definitely getting ready to really move. And yeah, I'm at this point, I'm pretty much full blast on the creek bite. I'm gonna be in the boat too, don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna be still guiding in the boat for sure. But as far as like videos go, I'm gonna be really on the creeks. You know, there's the creeks are just getting ready to get good. There's just no way around it. But yeah, go ahead if y'all could. Tony, thanks so much for being here. Huge shout out, man. Thanks so much for being a channel member. I really appreciate that, Tony. Hope all is well, man. Thanks so much for dropping in. Michael, how long before the chocolate clears up? Michael, that's a good question. Thanks for being here, man. So, you know, every creek, there's creeks right now that never got muddy for sure. It just depends on the flow that was in that creek. But you know, there's always a handful of creeks that I can go to even when it's been raining like crazy and they're never muddy, and vice versa. There's some that even the slightest bit of rain will make them muddy. So I think in general, I think probably, I say probably 4 to maybe roughly a week. Sorry, y'all. I live in a zoo over here, so there's gonna be a bunch of noise in the background. But I'd say a solid week of no rain will have everything pretty good back to normal. Even some of the worst off creeks. Timothy G, thanks for being here. We finally got some rain. Benbrook came up 7 foot. Nice. What's up, Slab Buster? Buck Reynolds, hey man, we needed this rain. Yes, we did, and I'll tell you, y'all, it was almost like if I was going to write a script on how to set up a perfect creek season, this was it. You know, just having a super dry summer, just no rain, and then all of a sudden, just a flood. I mean, there were some places over here in Dallas that got, you know, over 12 inches of rain, and that's just really good. You know, it's not that, excuse me, it's not that out of the ordinary for October. October can be really rainy, especially in El Nino years, but yeah, I think it's really shaping up to be good. You know, and I've always said this, I want this rain, if it's going to do it, I want it to do it quick, early in the year. That way, by the time everything starts to get good, you know, it gets cold, the days get shorter, everything starts to line up, those creeks are full, they're not chocolate milk, and they're ready to go. So I think we're definitely getting on that right path. You know, we had the rain, and then it filled everything up, and now it's cold. It's cold outside. It's been cold all day. We got several more cold days to go. Once these creeks clear up, it's gonna be on. I mean, there's just no way around it. It's gonna be on. Axel, thanks so much for being here. It's pretty good right now. Right now, the creeks we're just gonna probably have to let this rain settle out a little bit longer. But as soon as it does, the creek's gonna be really good. Axel, what's going on, Television Pilot? Mark Spurgeon, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate it. A1 Fishing, thanks so much for being here as well. Slab says turning cooler tomorrow. Light rain coming, then cold front. Yep, that's how it was a lot here. Got cool, then it rained nonstop for like 3 or 4 days for the most part, and then cold front, and it's supposed to freeze tonight or tomorrow, I think. Michael, are they going to let water back out of these lakes in anticipation of more rain? Michael, so I don't think they're definitely, so there's a couple lakes that are full right now. Joe Pool and Bardwell, I believe, are the lakes that are over pool that I saw just off the top of my head. And those lakes are they're gonna start releasing. I think Bardwell's already letting water out, but they're not gonna. Sorry about that. They're not gonna let the water out to anticipate rain at this point. These lakes are flood control lakes, so they're meant to flood and they're meant to hold that water. So even though, you know, they would like a little more room, there's still, I think, a lot more. I really think there's still more room that they could gain, you know, before they start releasing that water. But with that being said, you know, they can't let certain lakes get too full, so they will start releasing some of that water as soon as that water downstream kind of gets out of there, and they can let that water out. Yes, it is, Slab, finally. It's crazy. A month ago yesterday, or 2 days ago, a month ago yesterday, 2 days ago, 28th of September, I had a trip, and it was almost 100 degrees, and here it is about to freeze. It's just crazy how fast it can change. Martin, thanks so much for being here. You don't know where I can get the colors to make my lures. I believe you can get some colors from Spike It, I believe, is the name of the brand. Slab says he's ready. Been still getting too hot here. Need that water temp to drop on down. Oh yeah, man. If y'all get anything like we got, it's coming, man. It is coming. But this is one of my favorite times of year. Honestly, it's probably my favorite time. Just the creek season in general. I just love being able to just, if I don't want to take the boat or it's too windy, just go walk the bank and catch them. You know, I really, really like that. And we're finally here again. If y'all haven't, check out the video I put out, the last creek video I put out. It's doing pretty good. And yeah, I think I'm really, excuse me, I'm really going to try to maximize these creek videos. You know, there's a lot of creek videos out there nowadays. There used to not be. But, you know, I'm really going to put more effort into that this year and do everything I can to really put that out there for y'all. Mark Spurgeon, thanks for being here again, man. Slab, main thing I don't like about fall is winter. Yeah, it gets dark at 5. That's definitely a bad thing. Axel, what time of day is optimal for crappie right now? Man, that's a good question. Honestly, I'm always the type that says whenever you can go, go. I don't believe there's a certain time of day that's better than others. You know, crappie will bite no matter what. You just have to adjust a little bit. I would say, I mean, I'm usually out there in the morning. I rarely get out in the evening, so I'm usually out there in the morning and seem to do pretty good. But, you know, whenever you can get out there is definitely the best time to do it. But yeah, you guys, so I'm gonna just kind of do some admin stuff real quick. Just, that's what I call it. I don't know what you really call it, but so, you know, I had a guide trip drawing going on my Facebook page, and I'm going ahead and I put a post on there. I'm gonna go ahead and close that at two-person guide trips, and I'm gonna also throw some extra stuff in there and just kind of cap it off at that. It's been since September 8th that I've had that open, and I still have not. I've just got those 2 spots filled, and so I don't want everyone to be waiting until, you know, next year at this point to get those other slots filled to where we can go ahead and announce the winners and get those winners, you know, scheduled and get them out on the trips. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick as well. I'm just kind of waiting on some other things to kind of line up and get that taken care of. But that's gonna be going on. Got some, got another announcement coming up pretty soon. And yeah, so I'm still guiding you guys. I don't have a lot of trips right now. Honestly, the fish have kind of been in between. But they will be here in the next week or two. After this cold front, it's not going to take long. These fish are going to start settling into their winter patterns, and they're going to get really consistent. And at that point, I'm going to be really trying to pick up more trips. I'm going to be on a deep bite out here in the Metroplex. As soon as that does set up, I'll be out there and I'll make a post. We'll get everyone on the books. As soon as they set up, they're not going to leave. They're not affected by rain, anything like that, so it really makes it nice. Slabbuster, wish they would leave the clocks alone. Yeah, man, it messes with me too, man. Yeah, it's tough. I think they've had some surveys where that like really can mess with people. Michael Van Zandt, how do you find all these nice creeks? Does every lake have these creeks? Yes, Michael, so most lakes have these creeks, and honestly, I spent a lot of time on Google Earth. You know, you can find out everything you need to know about a creek on Google Earth. You can see the color, watercolor. You know, you can see the watercolor most of the time. You can see the water level come up and down. You can see places to access, and you can really kind of see everything you need to know, you know, about how far up the creek you can go and everything like that. So it really can be a big difference maker. A1, I do not use that app, but I have heard of some people that use that and say it's good. Tony, if the creek is dried up, are they going to be up shallow around brush? Yeah, if the creek's dry and it's shallow, so typically for me, the crappie are going to go as deep as that creek allows. So obviously, if the creek's really shallow, they can't go deep, so they will stay shallow. And so that's kind of what I focus on, especially if that water's muddy. Those fish will be really they'll feel safe with that muddy water, and so they'll stay really shallow. Yep, television pilot's right. You know, the map, Google Earth, it really helps a lot. Fabian, you quit your job and the guide trips are slow. You got a sugar mama? No, man. No, I'm just really smart with my money, man. I really try to, you know, take care of things. I actually just paid off my truck, so I really try to not. I'm very, how do you say it? What is it? Frugal is the word. I'm very smart with my money. I hold on to it. I don't spend it. And so, you know, I anticipated having some slow times, and so I wanted to kind of have some cushion on that, and here we are. But I do have some, you know, some other ways make a little money. You know, make a little money off of YouTube, you know, stuff like that. So it definitely, you know, it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. I definitely anticipated having some slow times. This whole summer, luckily, I've been pretty busy, as much as I can handle. So definitely thankful for that. Let's see, Mark, Anthony, anyone wanting to bank and creek fishing, Lake Clark and Ennis? There's a lot of bank creek fishing there. You know, that's one place I have looked at, Mark. I have not made it down there yet. Excuse me, but I have been looking at that. So we've been fishing Weiss last couple weekends. Haven't been there in a few years. So many stumps and brush piles. It's unreal, man. Golly, man, I want to get out there on that lake slab. Thanks, Fabian. Wilbur, I just do bank fishing. Yeah, a lot. Most just do bank fishing, and that's why a lot of times this time of year I get a lot more views. I get a lot more interactions on these live streams, and so I know this bank fishing stuff that I'm getting ready to do really appeals to a lot of people, and you know, I love it. I mean, I'm not scared to throw my live scope, leave it at home, and walk off without it. I really am not scared to do that. Derek Lewis, are they out in the creek swimming or by brush? Derek, thanks so much for being here. That's a good question. They're actually both. There's some creeks and every day is so different. Every creek is different. Every scenario is different. You just kind of have to mess around. There's some days when these fish are, sitting right nose into a stump in a creek. Like the video from the last creek video, or the only creek video I did this winter so far, those fish just so happen to be really close to cover. And, that's pretty typical how they are for the most part, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they will be just out roaming. They'll be out in the bins, in a deep hole. It just kind of depends. Cameron, thanks so much for being here. Can you speak on how you stated in your last video that if you're not catching anything, you need to move around? When you find them, they will typically be a lot more with them. Yes, so Cameron, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So crappie in general, if you get around them and you're fishing the correct way, if you get around them, they're going to let you know pretty quick. It's not so much of a, and you can see some of those clips on that video where I cast out, like you can see how fast it is from that cork hitting the water to when I actually get bit. It's really quick, and you can just cover water. In my opinion, if you're not catching fish, they're not there. And so what I'll do is, especially if I catch a fish, or especially if it's been slow, where I can kind of really pay attention, like, okay, that stump, okay, they were just on that bank, it was a little deeper, how deep was I? I can really pay attention to that kind of stuff a little more. And that really helps me out. But yeah, crappie like to school, and so typically, not so much if you find a stump, it's not gonna necessarily have 30 fish around it, but that generally that area will have a lot of fish, whether it's just a few stumps in that corner or just this little stretch. That crappie are like that for sure. Where you catch one, typically there's some more around. Hey, when I use it when I'm in a city I'm not familiar with, to show me where some spots are to fish. Nice. Yeah, I have not used it, but I've definitely heard some good things, A1, man. Timothy G, heard Louisville's doing pretty good. Yeah, I heard that too. I need to get out there myself, man. Yeah, if y'all could, leave this a thumbs up. YouTube really likes that. Lets them know that you're enjoying this. And yeah, we are getting ready to really do good out there. That's why A1 says that's why I follow you and some others, because of the bank fishing. It helps me with some of the things I got going on. Yeah, for sure. It's one thing I don't want to ever get away from on this channel is bank fishing. It's something I enjoy, something I grew up doing, and I know everyone else can relate to that. And I say it all the time, I get really bored boat fishing. It's just I do it so much, especially this summer. I've been out guiding so much that I'm just so glad to be able to just leave the boat at home, grab a rod, some bobbers, and go catch fish. It's so fun to do that. Axel, how do you think this weekend is going to be for crappie fishing? I think it'll be pretty decent, Axel. I think some creeks will be completely clear, and then some creeks will still be a little stained. Excuse me, but they'll definitely be good. I'm not going to be out this weekend personally. I won't be out. Honestly, you guys, I'm not going to be out on the weekend at all. If I'm out on the weekend, it's because I'm going to be guiding. I don't plan on creek fishing or filming anything like that on the weekend, just because there's just going to be a lot of people, and I just would rather do that during the week. But this weekend should be pretty good, Axel. Slab, man, it's awesome. I think you would love it. Fairly big too, 33,000 acres. Yeah, man. And then the dock shooting too, Slab. Man, I always do this. Is it Gary? Jerry? I always do this, and I cannot remember for the life of me. I believe it's Jerry, if I remember right. South Carolina in the house, been here for a minute or two. Been a long time. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Cameron, good info. Do you like to downsize your presentation while creek fishing, and do you believe plastic perform better than hand ties? Those are great questions, Cameron. Thanks so much for asking them. So I will downsize if the water's clear. If the water's muddy, I like a bigger bait just because I feel like the fish can see it a little better. It's just kind of a confidence thing for me. There's nothing really scientific behind that, but it's just a confidence thing for me. And typically, man, usually I don't necessarily think one outperforms the other as far as hand tie versus plastic, but I'll typically won't use a lot of hand ties in the creek, just because they're a little more expensive and you're gonna break a lot of them off. I'd much rather break off a plastic jig for 10 cents than break off a $2 hand tie, Slab buster, yeah, a lot less trouble and save money on the bank too. Yep. Derek Lewis, when is the best time to go get them? Man, Derek, whenever you get time. That's just honestly my answer. Just fish. I always say this: the fish are always biting somewhere. They're never just gonna be just biting like crazy as soon as you get to the parking lot and walk right down to the water, the closest access. That's not very often that happens, but if you walk around, there's always some fish biting somewhere. At some point, always. Timothy, marina's starting to heat up too. These fish moving and with the water. Yep, Timothy's right. These marinas will start holding fish pretty good. I'm sure they already are. But that's one thing I wish. I still miss. I used to have marine slips at the marinas over here on Grapevine, and I don't have them anymore. They just didn't like people fishing anymore. But I do miss having that just to get down to and fish every now and then. Yeah, television pod. Them hand ties are too expensive. Marcos, thanks for being here. Slab says that's all the Coosa Lake's full of docks, but there's fish all year round on Weiss docks. I want to come out there to the big T lakes, and you want to come here. Yep, it's funny how that works, Slab. I'll tell you what, if I can grow this channel and get this channel big enough, you guys, I'll go. I'd love to go over and fish with Slab. I'd love to go up to Arkansas. I'd love to be able to travel around a little bit more. I know Paul's been wanting me to go down to Sam Rayburn with him. I just need to get this channel a little bit bigger before I can justify doing that. Hopefully this year goes a long ways for that. Let's see. But yeah, so you guys, the channel is growing. Thanks so much for all the support. As always, if you can share the videos, that helps a ton. Like it when they pop up, comment. YouTube really likes that engagement, and that really helps get the video kind of pushed out there. I'm trying to grow my Facebook as well. So I have all that linked in the description on this live. So I'm going to be trying to be really active on Facebook as well, trying to grow that. And we're just going to go. Like I said, right now I don't have any guide trips, so I have one, I lied, I have one that I have coming up that I have to find some fish for real quick. But outside of that, I don't have any that are just, a lot, I don't have them lined up. And so I'm going to just go at these videos nonstop. And so this week, I'm kind of tied up a little bit more than I usually am. And we just had all that rain, so it kind of works out. I'm kind of letting things line up, and as soon as they're ready, I'm going to be out there every day for you guys, pumping out videos. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And like I said, I also got a couple announcements coming up. I don't want to put them out there quite yet. I'm still kind of working on them, but here in the next few days, that will be coming out. I'm going to be doing some stuff again that's going to be really helpful. It's going to help me out, and it's going to help you guys out at the same time. So DJ Pizza, thanks for being here. Hey kid, we got on the bass a few weeks ago. They were following the shad up the creeks. Yep, nice. Yeah, that's how it is. I saw them. I was at a creek last week, and there's shad in there pretty good already. So it's time, and this cold is only helping. That's what I'm saying. It was just perfect. This whole weather setup we had here in North Texas. We had a lot of rain, filled everything up, and then now it's cold. So it's like now those fish have room to get in the creeks a little easier, and that cold's forcing them into the creek. So it's just the perfect storm. A1, bro, keep doing your thing. The channel is growing. You will get there. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. That's one thing, you guys. So, there's yes, sir, it is, Slab. I can't wait. That's one thing, you guys, on YouTube. there's so many ways to grow. There's so many ways to grow. Some, you know, are not good in my opinion. Some are good. Obviously, I know there's shortcuts out there, and I could do those shortcuts, but I'm not. I'm going to just keep grinding, keep doing me, and just keep putting videos out that I enjoy. And I know when I get to that point that I want to get to, it'll be worth it. You know, it'll be what is it, organic. It'll be, you know, from my content. It'll be for following me. And that's another thing, you guys. So I'm gonna try and get, you know, a little more personal on this channel. I want to kind of make it more personal, more relatable. So I'm gonna be kind of dropping that here and there in videos too. You know, just kind of some stuff, you know, that maybe, you know, maybe like today, for example, I'm just running on absolute fumes. I'm so tired. But my boys kept me up last night and just really made it tough today for me. But, you know, that's life, you know, that's reality, right? So I'm going to throw that in there as well. But yeah, so, you know, the channel's growing. You know, if you're interested, super chats are always there. That money goes right back into the channel, and you know, helps keep me going. You know, it's not, you know, these videos are great and they look great, but there's a lot that goes into them. You know, a bad trip here, bad trip there. Golly, my truck, like I said, I just paid my truck off. I put brakes on it. I got oil change. Like, it's just, there's a lot that goes into that. And so, you know, those super chats really help. And then as well, you know, Cash App, anything like that, if you're interested, that always helps and goes right back to the channel. That's one thing on here, you guys. I'm not going to sit here and beg nobody to send money. I'm not going to beg anybody to do this or that. If you want to, I'm grateful. But if you don't, I mean, that's fine, and I get it. So I just don't want to be one of those channels where it's just like every other sentence, you know. So, but I will touch on it at least. But yeah, anybody else got any questions or anything like that? Or yeah, so I mean, I've already, like I said, I'm ready. I'm just kind of, my wife put Cash App in there if you're interested. Yes, television pod's a good one. Pro tip, them slope banks are going to be real slippery. Plan ahead. Yep. Yep, they're going to be really slick. So you definitely want some cleats, or maybe some, you know, maybe some boots with some like cleat type styles. I don't know, something, but you're definitely going to want to be careful out there. A1, it's taken us forever to grow. We're going on 4 years and still not where we want to be, but enjoying fishing so much. Fishing with the kids, also love it. Awesome, man. Yeah. A1, man, the best advice I can give is just keep at it, you know. That's one thing I've always told myself is as long as I'm seeing growth, I'm happy. I really am, you know. Just, I know that I have to be patient. This is not going to happen overnight. And the reason I say that is because I know I'm not doing anything to kind of shortcut that, kind of cheat that. So I just kind of know that that's how it's going to be. But that's fine. You know, like I said, when we get there, as you know, A1, when you get there, it'll be that much more worth it. Fishing with Camo Joe, there he is. Y'all be sure to check him out. Be sure to get some jigs from him. Camo's Custom Hand Ties on Facebook. Y'all be sure to check him out. Makes great jigs. Great guy. Yeah, and so, you know, I'm big on supporting those who support the channel. Obviously, B&M, long-time supporter of the channel. Flopbox as well. They've been really good too. And that reminds me, I need to do something. I forgot, but I'll do it. But yeah, I'm all about supporting those that support me. I really am. Michael, what's your favorite jig in the creeks? Oh, that's a good question. So, you know, I'm not real big on color. You know, I know color is a confidence thing. Some people have confidence in a certain color. That's great. You know, confidence is everything in crappie fishing. It really is. But as far as let's say jig profile, man, it's hard to beat a just a shad style bait, because a lot of times in these creeks, these crappie are really focused on shad, and so that's typically what I use as a minnow or a shad body. And you know, a lot of times if I can do it, I'm gonna always try to jig and bobber these fish. It's just so fun. I love it. You can get horizontal on them and cast across the creek, you know, and then you get to reel them back in. So that's really fun. Also, you guys, I'm gonna be taking the kayak out. I'm gonna be trying to mix it up for you guys as much as possible. But yeah, thanks so much, Camel Joe, for being here. Thanks for the support as always, man. And hope all is good out your way, buddy. Yeah, I see we got 35 on here, you guys. This is the most I've had on here in a while. It's not surprising. It's creek season, you know. It's that time. But if y'all could hit that like, I'd appreciate it. Really would appreciate that. But yeah, so we're just getting started. It just is shaping up to be a really, really epic year. And I'm gonna be, yep, crappie magnet profile is good. Yep, that's good. I typically tend to gravitate toward a smaller profile, you know, whether it's a little shad body or crappie magnets are good too. I don't like overly big, you know, paddle tails and, you know, stuff like that. I don't really gravitate much toward those. I like shad profile or small profile, compact. Slip cork is my number one, says Camel Joe. Yep, slip cork. I love slip cork, and I love, you know, just jig and bobber, just shooting docks. Like, I love all that. It's all really, really fun for me. Slab Buster, what does a crappie magnet look like in the lake? Why do they like those? LOL. You know, that's a good question. I think, you know, it's also, for me, it's almost like a tube. A crappie magnet's almost like a tube. It's like got a tube body, but then it's got like a tail on it. So maybe they think it's like a shad. I'm not sure, honestly. That's a good question, Slab. Panfish Assassins are good. Yep, that style's good. There he is, the man himself, Byron Burns. What's going on, man? Hope all is well, buddy. A1, Louisiana is a little different from Texas. The fishing better in Texas. When I'm there, I have to find one day to go fishing. Yeah, man, I would love to go out to Louisiana too. Those swamps, I love. Like, we don't have swamps, at least where I'm from here in Dallas. We don't have swamps like that, like y'all have in Louisiana. But there's certain lakes that are a little more swampy than others, and I do like fishing all that vegetation, all that, those cypress trees and stuff like that. It's really fun for me. Lake Verret, says Byron. Yeah, I think I've heard of that one before. Slab says it's a split tail. It moves water or sound. Yeah, it could be. I think too, it's just such a compact profile, and their colors on them are really vibrant. I do like, you know, I'm not set on like one specific color, but I do like bright colors. I feel like crappie are just naturally drawn into bright colors. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but man, I was trying to see. I don't think Fredo's on here. I hope he's all right. I don't think I've heard from him in a little bit. He said he quit YouTube, so I haven't seen him anymore. But yeah, you guys, like I said, I'm really, really excited, and I'm gonna get out there. Yeah, trout magnets are good. Magnets are good too. They're really small and they're really tiny. So especially like when those fish are feeding on really small shad or something, it's gonna be good. In the wintertime, I use dark colors. Solid black is great. Nice, man. Yeah, I don't know if I've used a lot of solid black. I've used like black and chartreuse before. That always does good, it seems like. And yeah, I think it'll be good, Byron. I know you're ready to get out there on some bridge fish, man. Michael, did you know Lane Palmer? Yeah, so I didn't know him. So I've been around the crappie fishing scene my whole life. I'm pretty sure I've probably run into him a few times at these Crappie Anglers of Texas events, especially back in the day when they were first starting. But you know, I would message him on Facebook a lot. I would ask him, you know, like I have a lot of respect for him and you know how he ran his business and how he got started and ran his jig company and all that. And you know, I had a lot of respect for him. And so like I reached out to him asking him, you know, what to kind of expect doing this full time, guiding full time and all that. And he was very, very, you know, straightforward with me and pointed me in the right direction and you know, gave me lots of encouragement. So, you know, I definitely, you know, I'm going to miss him. I know he's going to be greatly missed. And it's just unfortunate. Gone too soon. Calvin Revis, any info on casting umbrella jigs or crappie jigs or gulp minnows? That's a good one. Calvin, man, thanks so much for being here, but I have not. I don't think I've ever thrown an umbrella rig for crappie. That's something I could definitely do in the future, but I have not done it, so I really wouldn't have any info on that, man. I'm sorry. Slab, these fish been liking it still. Give it to them 5 waves, dead still in their face, what they like best. Yep, a lot of times that's how it is, man. I'll have the trailer fixed in a couple weeks. Nice, man. I forgot about that. It did. I forgot about that. That did break on you, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad they're getting it fixed pretty quick for you, man. Cameron Henderson, shout out to you for the knowledge. On a serious note, most of these YouTubers don't help their subscribers out. You actually give us good information and interact with us. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much, Cameron. That means a lot to me. That's part of why, you know, I do this, you guys. I'm not doing this to be like, look at me, look at me. I'm down to help. I really am. You know, I'm all for helping and just grow the sport. This sport's just, you know, I love this sport. I'm always gonna love this sport, and so I'm always down to kind of help, you know, expand it, keep it going. Slab, but that's fixing to change with this cooler weather. They will come 3+ foot to hit a bait. Yep, it's gonna get them fired up. I'm interested to see what the water temp is gonna be when I get back out on the water later this week, because I'm sure it was. I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember what I think it was like 70, I think, or 69 or 70 the last time I was out there. And so I'm definitely expecting it to be, I mean, it's got to be in the low 60s, maybe upper 50s after this cold front. Byron says he has vacation in December, just hoping for light wind days. Yeah, man, hope so. Hope that lines up. Grease your hubs, people. Yep. I try to grease mine every so often. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to remember, but I definitely try to do that. Fishing with Camo Joe. We got some crappie umbrella rigs. Never thrown them. Maybe this year. Made by Yum. Yep, that's right. I have seen those. Calvin was thinking about slow stroll on the John boat and just letting them drag behind. Yes, that would work probably. Especially in the winter when a lot of these fish roam a lot. They're kind of more just, they're not as tight to cover as they are in the summer. So I definitely think you'd slow roll that behind the boat, you know, in some deep water. You definitely probably pick up some fish. Slab. I grease my hubs every 2 weeks. It's not going to fail because of lack of grease. There you go. Well, it's better to have too much grease than not enough, for sure. Buddy of mine has lost 2 wheels. I'm like, dude, grease them bearings. Yeah. That's one of my fears for sure. So I try to make sure that I grease them as much as I can remember. Stephen Hawkins, thanks so much for being here. Hello, everyone. Sorry, it's been a long day. Hope all is well. Enjoying the cooler weather. Thanks so much, Stephen, for dropping in. And hope your evening goes better and kind of get to relax a little bit. Wilbur, good time for crappie and white bass. Yep, I'm gonna be more on the white bass here in the springtime, but I'm excited. Yeah, too much grease isn't always good either. It's always too much is too much is not a good thing. I think if I remember right, if you put too much grease, it'll pop those seals out, and then you can have troubles that way. I'm not an expert on that by any means, but that's what I have heard on those. So yeah, you guys. So my phone's getting ready to die on me, but I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of wrapping things up. I'm gonna try and go live a little more often now, especially now that we're in the creek season. Things are changing a little more. You know, there's just a little more to talk about than there was in the summer, just with the sun, it's just hot every day. Fish are on brush piles every day. Nothing really changed. So you know, I'm gonna try and go live a little bit more. But thanks so much everyone for being here. I really appreciate it. Slab, I don't go over 60 ever down the interstate. I'm sure I get cussed. Nah, man. Asia, thanks so much for being here. Says the too much grease will pop the inner seal. Yep, I have heard that. I have heard that before. So yeah, you guys. So just be on the lookout for a lot of videos coming up. And thanks again for all the support, you guys. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day today to join me here this evening and talk about crappie, talk about the bite, talk about, you know, life and how everyone's doing and everything like that. It really means a lot to me and really appreciate it. A1, during the summer we don't have much luck catching crappie, so I started bass fishing. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that's one thing. Like I really wish I didn't have to be so boat heavy on the videos in the summer, and the views show it that, you know, most don't want to see that, but that's just, crappie are just hard to get from the bank in the summer. Not saying you can't do it, it's just a lot harder. So I mean, I wish I could kind of, that's why I love this time of year when I can kind of do a lot more stuff. Yeah, I tell you, you know, Axel, I mean, everything's so expensive. I get it. Trust me. That's why, you know, I try to, with my guide trips, I try to make the prices very fair, very reasonable. And, you know, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Fishing with Camo Joe, if you can remember, touch your hubs after you get to the lake. If it's hot, you need to add some grease. Yep, that's right. Bearing buddies is a ticket, folks. That's right, Slab. Yeah, Byron's right. Let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. Let's go Cowboys. Let's go Mavs. I think the Mavs are actually probably playing right now. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think it was 7:30 they started playing. So, you know, let's go. I'm all for Dallas teams. That's just how I am. And yeah, I hope the Rangers do good. I think regardless, it'll be really good. Yeah, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I'm gonna go help my wife with the boys. I know she's tired too. And yeah, so thanks again everyone for dropping in tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, and I hope to see you out on the water or on the creek bank pretty soon. Everyone have a great evening, great night. Take care and be safe. See ya.